Hey there, Hocus here, and I have had a comment. So right now, my phone is in front of me, and I'm going to read this to you. So the comment was from Nathan Perney, and he said, "You could use upside down stair blocks on top of the dispensers so that you can still access the dispensers, and no wool will be lost." And I think that that's a great idea. So we're going to go ahead and install that design in a few of our cells here. So welcome back to the Let's Play. This is episode 106. So at the moment, of course, we're going to be implementing Nathan's idea. So firstly, we want to take that out. And then we're going to use a combination of mossy stone brick stairs and also regular stone brick stairs. Unfortunately, there is no cracked variant at the moment, so we're gonna have to make do with what we got here. And I wish this mechanism would stop firing just for a couple of seconds. So we'll do that, and then we'll do a couple of those guys. So as Nathan said, you can now access the dispensers whilst also preventing any wool from being lost in the process. So no wool is going to make it on top of those dispensers. We'll also go ahead and do this. So where's that lantern? We'll pop the lantern right there, which isn't going to work, unfortunately. How could we combat this situation? I am not sure right now, so we'll probably hold off on that for a second, but let me go ahead and install this design in just one more cell here. So let's get the axe back out, take out a couple of fence posts. Then we want to get the lantern. Oops, we don't want it to go in there though, if we can help it. How are we going to get that back? Oh, it didn't go inside? Okay. In that case, then we will we'll break in there in a second, off camera. Anyway, here we go. Let's pop in some stairs there, and we'll do one set in the middle. And that's probably pushed our lantern down into, right, it has. Let's try and get that back then, because obviously I don't really want these two to spawn if we can help it. Dudes, move. Thank you. And then out. Perfect. Okay. Let's figure out how we're going to change the lighting here, and I'll bring you guys back in to check it out. We've got the stairs in place for each and every sheep cell here, so that's a total of 16, as you can see, just like this. And then just to remind you guys, this does allow us to access the dispensers from the back, which is exactly what we want to do, or be able to do, I should say. And also, no wool can... wool can no longer bounce on top of the dispensers, causing it to not get picked up. So the efficiencies of this farm have increased tenfold. Also, we need to install the lanterns again. I have a couple of ideas here. So one idea is to place a fence post and pop the lantern in like that. The other idea is to place an iron bar and pop the lantern in like... Oh, okay. So the iron bars aren't going to work, unfortunately. How about if we do this? Still nothing? No. Okay, so iron bars, there you go, something you might not have known. Iron bars cannot support a lantern in this game, unfortunately. So I think what we'll do is we'll go with this design. So we've got the birch fence post in the middle, and then you just have the lantern coming down from it. Of course, the alternative to this is to have a lantern directly up there, which I think looks better, but I'm not sure. Actually, yeah, we'll go with that because we can always add some different lighting down on the floor level in terms of maybe installing some lamps in the floor or something like that. We're going to need some extra blocks here as well to be able to retrieve these lanterns, because obviously I don't really want any of them to go to waste. So we're going to do this. We're going to just pop a lantern above each of the cells, right on the center block there, the center of the wood that is in the ceiling. So we'll just run across here and do that. And then, of course, we're going to need a couple of blocks, which I'll snag out of that chest there, just to hop up and grab a few of the entities that have gone a bit astray. So I'll bring you guys back in once we've done that to check out the finished product. I decided to go all out, so I'm preparing the walls here to be finished, and that should be about the end of the wool farm, which is good. Something that has taken a while, of course. We were waiting for 1.14 to come out ultimately, but that isn't what has stopped us from finishing the design. So, of course, we've now got the lanterns in place. We've set up the walls to be able to accept the blocks that I'm going to be using for their design, which is, of course, this palette here, as we always do. We definitely need to change away from that sometime in the future and try and mix things up a little bit. I guess we did mix things up with the cave, sort of natural cave builds that we've been doing recently, but most of the time we still end up using the same block types, which we definitely should try and broaden our horizons, to say the least. So I will be working here to get this pulled together. So of course we're going to be using these blocks here. and we just throw them in randomly. So yeah, let me go ahead and get this done, and I'll bring you guys back in for one final touch that we need to add to this build, and then we should be about finished. Just doing a final run through here, guys, placing in the glass above the lanterns here, which I have installed off camera, of course, just to tidy the rest of this area up. So let's get rid of these guys, and I think we're probably going to have to put a few more in here and there once we get all the torches out of the way and see where the spawns occur. But I think we're about there in terms of getting this place adequately lit up. So of course we do want to get rid of any standing torches and also block off any lamps with glass. So we're using light grey glass, kind of blends in with the textures that we've used on the floor as well, which is the reason why we've chosen to use it. So here we go. We should have another lamp there, one in here, one just there, one here. Get rid of that torch. And then round the side here, we should have another one. And as you can see, the walls are also fully completed as well, which is another goal that we set out to achieve just before this clip. And I think that that is about that for the floor lamps. As I said, though, we're going to need more, definitely, I believe, in these gaps here, because it looks slightly too dark to maintain 0 spawns. Let's see, the light level is 5, right? Yeah, so we're definitely going to need more lamps in here. So I might craft those up in a second and get those placed in, but we're going to be leaving the sheep farm for now, and this is essentially what it looks like at the moment. So this is the complete sheep farm. There are a few changes that I still need to make. One, I just reminded myself of around the corner here, and we're getting some severe lag. Of course, that is one of the downfalls of this farm. We need to go ahead and do that, and then do that just to neaten things up. Perfect. Okay, and as I was saying, we are done here for today in the sheep farm. We're going to be moving outside just to start a new project today, so I'll bring you guys back in when I'm about ready to go up there and get that underway. Okay guys, we're topside now, as you can see, out by the iron farm, and in here we've got 2 villagers. So these are the 2 guys I saved out of everybody in the system here. Everybody else is dead. I just got rid of them, don't need them. We only need 2 to do what we're going to do today. So let me just cover these guys up to make sure that they aren't going to face any wrongdoings and die, because that would be quite tragic for us. Anyway, we have a goal in mind today, and that goal is to hopefully get a villager breeder set up. So of course, the first step to doing that is probably to start tearing this one down, because we want to get rid of it. It's not needed anymore. It's causing our golem farm to have a few misfires. Of course, the golems are spawning on the roof of this thing, and that is something that we don't want to happen. So getting rid of this will be a good step in the right direction in terms of focusing the golem spawns more into an area where they are required. So I'm going to spend a bit of time here just tearing this thing down. Eventually, we're just going to patch it up and cover it over. And then I want to, as I say, get into the construction of a villager breeder in this area so that we can actually replenish our numbers and use the replenished numbers. Who's attacking me? Oh, right. It's a skeleton here. Let me quickly take him out. There we go. Leave me alone next time. So what I was saying was that we're going to use those replenished numbers of villagers to populate any further cells that we decide to build on our iron farm. And you might be wondering why I killed most of the villagers that remained. And the reason why was because we actually had exactly 2 left that were useful. Well, 3 I think. I can't actually remember the exact number. I think I might have killed 1 useful villager, but the rest were nitwits. And I was killing them off anyway. And of course they aren't very useful to us because they'll never take up a profession, so we can't force them to become shepherds, which is of course what we need at the moment in our farm. So they're not any use to us, so I decided to get rid of them. Anyway, I'm going to continue working here to tear this thing down, and of course in due time it will be vanished from existence, which is what we want at the moment. And then we'll patch it up with some grass, and I'll bring you guys back in to see about setting ourselves up a 1.14 villager breeder. As times change throughout this Minecraft world, I believe it's important for us to memorialize what was and what will be in the world. So this is the last piece of grass that we're going to place in to cover up the old villager breeder. There we go. And on this piece of grass, we are going to grow ourselves a memorial tree. So I'm going to try and force this thing to grow as high as possible. So let's build a little bit of a ring around it like this, and just hope that that is going to allow it to grow into a tall tree instead of a short one. Hopefully, there we go. Okay, I was a bit worried that we were going to run out of bone meal there for a second, but we achieved what we wanted. So we now have this nice grand tree where our old villager breeder used to stand. And this is a really nice generation, actually. I love these branches. This looks really natural. I don't know if that was a change that they implemented in 1.14, but I haven't seen a tree that looks like this before, I don't believe. Anyway, here we go. And then on the sign, we will write here lies, and then we'll have a colon, old villager. Oh no, we've run out of space. In that case, let's do this and bring it up to the top line. Here lies old villager, and then breeder, and then r.i.p, and then we will add in a date as well. So 8th of May is when I'm recording this, so 8th of May and 19. There we go. Here lies old villager breeder. Rest in peace, 8th of May 19. There we go. So the old villager breeder is done and dusted. And of course, we are going to build ourselves a brand new one that will hopefully function in 1.14. There has to be a simple design out there, or at least I would assume there is. We've got our 2 villagers in here, and that is under the assumption that they are both still alive, which looks to be confirmed. And of course, if in the future we decide that there are a few materials that we might need to scavenge, we know we have a location to dig down into right here, which is another good a good side effect of having this thing sort of memorialized. We'll always remember where it is, even as time passes by here. So yeah, let's move into trying to install our very brand new villager breeder. Probably going to build it in a similar location, not too close to this thing, because of course we don't want to have golems spawning on it. It's going to be a rough build as well. I'm not going to put too much effort into it. I just want it to function at the minimum, so that we can get a bunch of villagers out of it, and of course stash them away in these villager cells that allow our iron farm to function. And also, as a side note, we're starting to build up quite a nice bank of iron ingots in there, which is good. This is exactly what we built this farm for. So let's get to it. Okay guys, so let's dive into building this villager breeder. We're going to be putting it in the same location that the old one was in. Of course, we've memorialized the old villager breeder right here with this tree. So to begin, we're going to raise this thing off the ground ever so slightly. And I want to bring it away from the iron farm, of course, so that we're not interfering with it too much. And we want to build a small glass chute that comes away from the bottom of it. And this is going to be to transport the baby villagers away, because apparently, let me start somewhere else. The tutorial that I watched was a Wattles tutorial, and if you guys haven't seen his channel, then I'd recommend you go check it out. It's a good channel, Wattles, Wattles, and he suggested in his video that one of his friends, or someone that he is in the know with, told him that you have to escort baby villagers around 65 blocks away from the farm for it to continue producing. So we're going to start our escort stream here, I guess. I'm not sure where I'm going to eventually take them. We will see about that, I suppose. But we kind of just want to block them in at the end here. So we'll leave it like that for now, of course. And then we want to come up to the top here. And obviously I didn't want that to happen, but it's happened. And we're just going to take it up a couple more blocks. So there we go, just like this. And that should be about good for now, I think. So that's going to be the chute that, of course, takes the villagers away from the farm. We'll grab that piece of glass as well. And I just kind of want to recycle some of the old materials that I gathered from destroying this thing. So I think for the walls, we're going to use the light grey stained glass here again. And we also are going to need a few solid blocks to get the structure going, and a bunch of dirt. So I'll be back when I've grabbed those. Developments have been made to the villager breeder, but we will get to that in a second, so don't you guys worry. We need to craft some composters though, and I'm not sure how you do that. So let's see if we got the recipe. We do. So you need 4 fences and 3 planks of any wood type. So let me go ahead and see what we've got here. This dark oak will work, I think. Let's do some fences. So we're going to need some sticks for that as well, of course. Let's do this and that and pop those in and take that out. There we go. And then 1, 2, 3, we'll need some, there we go. And we're only going to need 4 of these. So we actually do need some more fences there, which isn't an issue. We've got way more than enough materials here to get that job done. So let's do this, do that, and then do that. And then 3 slabs, and 1, 2, 3, 4 for another composter. So that's our 4th composter. There we go. So let me show you what we've been up to over here at the villager breeder. So firstly, we've got these 2 new chutes here, which of course direct the villagers down into the main chute, and I'll explain to you what those are going to do in a second, or how those are going to be fed in a second. So if we come up to the top here, you'll see that I've actually gone ahead and tilled all of the soil. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to wrap a glass pane wall around the side of this thing. It needs to be at least 2 high, of course, to stop anything from entering and anything from leaving. So let's bring that all the way around like so. And then we'll go up another layer in a second. We can actually go ahead and till this block here and also this block. However, these 3 blocks are going to be destroyed. And oopsie daisy, not that one. That was the wrong one. There we go. Fix that. And then shovel again, 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, these blocks are the ones that lead down into our water stream. So the way this is going to work is when the babies spawn, they are going to, of course, be running around the place, laughing, shouting, playing, do whatever they do in this game, the baby villagers. And then eventually they should make their way under these slabs here. So, of course, these slabs are going to be somewhere around there. On the underside, of course, so that we don't get any spawns on top of them. And then the babies are going to slip under the slabs, think this is a full block, and fall down into the water streams below. So let's do the same on the other side. So we'll pop 1 there and 3 coming away from it. Of course, we can get rid of this one. And then it's probably worth bringing up our walls by an extra pane of glass. So let's go all the way around and do that. And of course, we're going to need some beds because breeding is now based on beds rather than doors, and that was a mistake. We can go ahead and till that soil again though. As I was saying, breeding is now based on beds rather than doors, which of course is one of the changes in the 1.14 update. So we're going to need to grab ourselves some beds here, and I think 6 is going to be the magic number. We also need to pop down these composters that will allow the villagers that we put in here to become farmers, and of course take up a profession, which means they'll be able to feed each other and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and pop 1, 2, 3, and 4. And just for safekeeping, Wattles said that in the video this bug should be gone now, but he said that sometimes the villagers and other mob types can get a bit funky around composters. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop a glass block on top of each one like that. And this is about it. Of course, we do need our 6 beds and we need to plant the crops, which we can go ahead and do now. I brought down 2 stacks of carrots from our carrot farm. Who would have known that that thing would have came in handy already? So let's just go ahead and plant a carrot in each of the spots here. And that should give us sufficient food to get breeding going, because another thing that is required for breeding, well, there are 2 requirements for breeding. You can either have the villagers have, I think, is it 12 food items in their inventory? It's something like that. A certain amount of food items in their inventory, or you could have traded with them within a certain period of time. So, of course, trades or food allows these villagers to breed. And we're about done here, aside from the beds. So let me go ahead and grab those. Welcome to your new home, you guys. I hope you like it here because you're going to be stuck in this area for a while. Unfortunately for you two, it could be torture. It could be nice. We'll wait and see on that one. But of course, as you guys can tell, I've moved the villagers up here now. Once again, took quite a while, but something that needed to be done. And now they've just sort of stood in this formation for a while now. Funny thing is as well, when I removed them from the stone capsule down there, there was actually a skeleton inside, so I would say we got quite lucky there, because of course if that was a zombie that spawned inside of that small capsule, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing right now, and that would have been kind of annoying because we would have had to go and grab ourselves some more villagers. But we did get very lucky there, and I didn't even think about it at the time to light that up, because you know, you don't really consider a small box like that to be of any harm to the villagers. So yeah, luckily for us, we got away with it. But sometime in the future we may not, so we're gonna have to remember to keep things lit up where we have villagers, especially when we're building small boxes for them like that, because they would have had nowhere to run, of course, and would have subsequently died due to zombie injuries. So we've placed our 6 beds down. I might get 2 more just for symmetry reasons over there sometime in the future, but this should be enough to allow these guys to start breeding once, of course, they've got enough carrots. I don't know if they've harvested any yet. We could try and speed this up, of course, with bone meal, but I don't seem to have any on me at the moment. I guess what we could do is this. We could just come around here and throw some carrots at the guys. So let's get around the side. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then I'll kind of just split the rest between them as well. So let's throw 17 down to that guy. And then I'll throw 17 over there to him. If he wants to come this way and grab them, he does. Perfect. Okay. So I guess right now they do have the chance to breed, since they should have way more than enough of the required food items to get that done. So hopefully we'll see babies here in the near future, but I'm not going to hang around for that to happen. We'll just wait and see if that happens across the next couple of episodes. So let's get this video wrapped up. Alright, you guys, welcome back to the video for the last time for today. This is going to be the end, of course, so I do hope that you've enjoyed our adventures in the Let's Play world for today. I definitely had fun building this, and hopefully it produces the results that we require. And I've just been thinking as well that maybe quickly before we do go here, I should learn from my mistakes last time and just place a few torches around the area just in case, you know, just as a precaution. We don't want anything spawning up here and ruining our plans. That's a new feature of 1.14 as well, that you can now place torches on blocks that are transparent, I guess is what you would call them. Anyway, as I was saying, this is the end of the video, so if you did enjoy, then please be sure to drop a like down below. That would be much appreciated by myself. If you have any questions, suggestions, comments, or feedback, pop those down in the comment section below, and I will be sure to get back to you on that. Finally, if you're new around here or you haven't subscribed yet, then be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay tuned to this series and any other videos that we decide to post to the channel. So once again, you guys, I'm very grateful for all the support and the time that you spend watching my videos on my channel. It's been great to have you here for this one. Take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and of course, I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.